If you could change any choice you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of the Inspired Choices Show, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
That's right. It's me again, Christine McIver, here for a show talking all about money. And the question on the table is, are you broke enough? Can you imagine the audacity of me to ask such a question? But I've got some information that I really want to share with you. So welcome, everyone. If you are listening live, give me a hashtag live. If you are listening in the replay, hashtag replay. If you would love to ask some questions, you can join us at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room. And if you're so inclined, you can even come on audio and ask your question live, and I can answer some direct questions just for you. So you are listening to the Inspired Choices Show here on the Inspired Choices Network. And as I said, tonight's episode is, Are You Broke Enough? Now, before we get into tonight's show, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am and why I have this ability to speak on such a topic. So I am a business optimization expert. I have been in my own business now for more than 15 years. I work with entrepreneurs who are looking to take their businesses to the next level. Individuals who have been doing their business and have found that they're struggling in some areas, or they found that they're not growing fast enough, big enough, and not getting their voice and their message and their products out to the world. So if you're someone that is looking for more support, if you're someone that is looking for moving through your business faster than you've ever moved before, I would love to have a conversation with you. So you can contact me, Christine, at inspiredchoices.ca, or you can join me on any of the social media platforms and ask me a question there. I love working with entrepreneurs, especially those that are determined to make a big change in their life and really take their business to the next level. I believe that anyone who has a desire on their heart can have a very, very prosperous business, and their business can be pleasurable. So if that's something that you would love, let's connect. Let's have a conversation and see what we can actually create together. Okay, so tonight's show, are you broke enough? What a weird question, right? And yet one that is necessary if you're struggling in your business, with your finances, most especially. To be broke is actually to conclude that we do not have enough. So if you're ever someone that says, I'm broke, you've concluded you do not have enough. And that also that there's not enough left for you. If this is a repeating experience for you, then you must ask yourself, am I broke enough to make a change for the good? Are you? Are you broke enough to make the change for the good? Changing your financial situation personally or in business is 100% possible and not as difficult as it likely seems. But first, you must commit to changing your situation. So are you committed to changing your situation? Have you decided, you know what, I've had enough, I can't do this anymore? Or are you someone that starts to go down the deep, dark hole of depression and you stay down there for a very, very long time? Are you someone that often says, this always happens to me? Do you ever use words like that, sentences like that? This always happens to me. Oh God, here I am again. The end of the month, the end of the week, and I don't have enough money left. I'm broke again. I'm broke again. What words do you hear yourself saying repeatedly that are not uplifting for you? That is a really important place to start to look. So I want you to pay attention to what you are saying, especially when it comes to money, personally or in your business, over the next couple of weeks for sure. Really start to pay attention. You know, what I know, and I was actually speaking with a client about it today, what I know is that we are operating from so much automatic. We don't even realize what we are saying or what we are doing. We are automatically repeating the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. You've heard before people are saying, oh my gosh, I sound like my mother, I sound like my father, because what comes out of our mouths are the words that our parents have said or the way that they have said it, right? Well, the same thing is happening for you. When you are saying something, you're programming your mind, and that automatic response follows that thought pattern. So if you have been struggling at all with money, and you have been expressing that, not from the space of, okay, things are not financially where I want them to be, I need to change this, but really from a depressive state, you're normal. So no beating yourself up. I don't think there's anybody, honestly, in business who hasn't been there. But B, know that those automatic words are impacting you more than you could possibly know. Have you ever had someone say, "Do you realize what you just said?" Have you had somebody? Put your hands up. Give me a hell yes, wherever you are. Have you ever had someone say that to you? It's, if you're willing to be vulnerable and you're willing to, put your barriers down so you don't go into defense, and you ask the question of the person, no, what did I say? And you go into curiosity. What you're going to start to find is that the words that you are using maybe don't match how you are feeling about something today. And yet it is creating the very thing you don't desire today. So for instance, if you are someone, we've got a hell yes in the chat room. If you are someone who says, okay, I know that there are opportunities all around me. I know that things are changing for me. And I just have a very strong belief about that, right? You say that. You feel that way. You genuinely feel that way. And yet things aren't changing. One of the very first things, like a low-hanging fruit, is start to look at your words. Start to look at your words. Not just look at your words when you are in the place of, okay, I'm going to really pay attention, but really start to look at your words just when you're having a conversation with someone, right? Not a business conversation, just a personal conversation. Or maybe you are watching someone, they're talking, you're maybe watching something on social media, you're watching a movie, and you hear the words in your mind, which end up being very negative, like, oh, look at how much money they have, or wow, do I ever wish that I could make that kind of money, right? Which is giving you the energy of lack. So do you recognize how often you are speaking with the words of lack? And lack doesn't have to be just around money. Lack can be any area of your life, but if you're speaking from the space of lack in any area of your life, that can impact every area of your life. And most especially money, because oftentimes when we are talking about lack, we are talking about and referring to money, correct? So your words, the words that you are using and the words that you are thinking, they are following you throughout your day, throughout your life. And that energy of lack is going out to the world. It absolutely is going out to the world. So that is the very, very first thing that you want to start to look at. And ask yourself, I would love to hear what you thought when you saw the title, Are You Broke Enough? What was the first thought that came to your mind? Please, wherever you're watching, please write that down, because that is fascinating. And that actually can give you a glimpse into what is going on for you in your thoughts about money. Okay, so here's another thing that you want to start to really recognize is that if you require something, if you would require money, like let's say you have someone that you love dearly, a close family member, a close friend who desperately needs to have an operation, desperately needs to have an operation, or desperately needs money to pay for their mortgage so they don't lose their house. They're kind of like on the last leg, and they're desperate for that money. Does anything change for you? Do you go into, or have you ever imagined that no matter what, nothing would stop me? Nothing would ever stop me from getting that money. I have seen people of all ages, from all walks of life, change their reality with money when there is an emergency. When there is an emergency, they will pull out every single solitary barricade in their way to get that money. They will make it happen. They will not care about what other people think, right? They will ask the question. They will ask for support. They will go get the job. They will clean up their taxes, and maybe some money comes in that way. They will connect with people that owe them money, and they will be brave enough to ask for the money. They will show up and create a product or a service and start to promote it without shame, without hesitation. That will start to create income. They will create that money because they must. They absolutely must. Guess what? In those situations, they're broke enough to take action. They are broke enough to make something such a huge priority that they don't think about what other people are thinking. They don't think about what it means for them to step out in the world and show up and do what it takes. They are not questioning themselves. They're not doubting themselves. They are stepping up no matter what. They're not thinking about it. They're not thinking about what other people are thinking, or they're not thinking about how they might be perceived. What they're thinking about is, this has to change no matter what, and I'm going to make it happen. I know many people who have been in this situation, especially in their businesses, when they thought their business was going to be gone, and clients of mine, and they have made quantum changes in their business and the way they show up, and they start to generate the money. And then I've seen them go back to being relaxed because there was enough money for a while, right? The flow was happening. And then they started to go back to their old ways. And when they went back to their old ways, they started to operate from that space of lack with their words. They've started to act as though it's just normal for them to be in lack. So is it normal for you to be in lack? Is that a familiar energy, a familiar program in your life, to be going from one week to the next, not knowing how much money you have or you're going to have, or just an expectation that you're going to be broke? If any of this is familiar to you, if any of it is comfortable wording to you, I want you to listen up. I want you to listen up, because this is 100% changeable, but it really requires you to be willing to step up and be vulnerable with what you've been allowing and choosing in your life and in your business. So I want you to stick around. I'm going to dive deeper into the thought patterns, the psychology around being broke enough. And then we're going to dive into how you can change that. So you're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. Remember, we're going to be talking about, are you broke enough? And I'll see you right after this commercial break. Stick around.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. Yes, I'm Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices Show here on the Inspired Choices Network. And tonight, if you're just joining, we're talking about, are you broke enough? A very arrogant question, and yet a very important question to ask you. So in our first segment, we were talking about what words you use yourself and you hear yourself repeating over and over again that are not uplifting to you. And being willing to step up and be vulnerable with what you have been allowing and choosing in your life and in your business. When you are willing to really get serious about change, you won't let anything stop you. As I gave an example, if somebody was very sick and they needed money, you would do whatever it takes to change it. If this is your loved one, you would make it happen. You absolutely would pull out every single solitary barricade in your way to make that money, to earn that money, to find that money. You would do it without even a blink of the eye. It would be of course, this is what I'm doing, right? Every single one of us have these absolutes that are like, of course I would do that, right? Well, what if you had your own back financially? And what I mean by that is that you actually had that energy behind you and your business. Like, of course I'm going to make money. No matter what, I'm going to make it happen. If I have to take more training, I'm going to do that. If I need to coordinate with other people and learn from other people, of course I'm going to do that. If I need to hire a coach to really train me and get me out of this funk, I'm going to do that. If I need to go to bed earlier at night so I wake up refreshed and ready and eager and excited about my business, of course I'm going to do that. If I need to get more organized, I'm going to do that. If I need to learn how to communicate with others in a better way, I'm going to do that. If I need to learn how to reach out to future customers and clients and cultivate relationships with them so that they trust me and they hire me, I'm going to do that. Do you have your own business, your own back in business? Or would you rather work for someone else because you don't have the confidence in yourself to do that? What would change in your life if you had the confidence that you could make the money that you desire? What if you were confident about making money, enough money to really bring a change into your life? What if you were confident enough to do that, to know that you can do that? What would change in your life if you were confident enough in the area of money when it came to you and what you do? You know, many of you out there might have a job where you're working for someone else. Your job is not guaranteed. No one's job is guaranteed. Not today, not tomorrow, never was. We were just led to believe that it was guaranteed. I was in human resources for many, many years. I can guarantee you that your job is not secure. It can change in a heartbeat. But the one thing that cannot change, the one thing that cannot stop you is when you choose to show up every single day and have your own back in your life, in your bank account, and in your business. Are you confident in yourself that if something changes in my job, I'm going to get another job? I am going to do what it takes to earn the money. Are you confident enough in yourself, in your business, to change your financial situation? Or are you mitered down in the woes is me? This always happens to me. I'm always broke. I'm always. What words are you hearing, or what words do you know that you've repeated in the past that have not served you? Here's the thing, my friends. If you're an entrepreneur out there, you have to learn to have your own back, and you have to learn to observe yourself in your day-to-day activities. You can't show up, in your Sunday best and be speaking. Like, I couldn't speak these words to you on live radio, on a podcast, on my TV show, live streaming. I can't speak these words to you. And for me not to be doing that already in my own world, and for you to not know that I'm lying. Because the truth of the matter is there's a resonance of truth when someone speaks. So ask yourself, is there a resonance of truth when you speak about having your own back, about doing whatever, being willing to do whatever it is to make my business successful, to make my financial situation successful? Are you confident in the words that you are saying, that they are truth? Or are you speaking one thing and then believing another? Words, and I do speak about energy. I do speak about the words of the energy of words, but we don't even need words in order to be a magnet for the things that we desire in our life. All that we require is an energy. We put an energy out there. Now, whether you believe that or not, I'm going to give you an example. Again, I was speaking with a client today, and I gave him this example. If two parents are in the car and they're fighting, and they walk into the house smiling, appearing to be happy, and there's a baby in the house, the baby will probably start crying immediately, because the baby reads energy very quickly without thought. You do as well. You just may not realize it. So if you wake up in the morning and you are defeated, feeling defeated before you even get up, wishing that, oh my God, not another day. I can't pay the bills. I couldn't pay them yesterday. Nothing's going to change. This is just happening to me all the time. If you're in that repeat mode, and you come to your desk, you go to work, and you try to put on a brave face, the fact of the matter is the energy of truth is going to resonate all around you. Just like, was it Peanut in, I can't remember. No. Oh, I'm thinking of Charlie Brown, the guy that had all of the dust around him. I can't remember his name. Linus? I think it was Linus. Yes, thank you, Linus. You will be like Linus, only nobody's going to see the ball of energy, but they will perceive it. And that's what you're putting out to the world. But the worst thing is that you're marinating in this energy day in and day out, because that's what you are choosing. And even if you aren't consciously saying to yourself, okay, I'm choosing to be in lack, I'm choosing to be miserable, I'm choosing to feel like I'm not worthy, even if you aren't saying those words, the fact that you are not choosing something else, that you are not consciously holding yourself accountable to cultivating positive thoughts and positive possibilities and doing what it takes to change your financial situation, even if you aren't doing it consciously, you're still choosing the negativity unconsciously. Because when you're marinating in that, it just keeps repeating. Yes, as Karen says, so choose to marinate in something that will be tasty and create more. Exactly. Now, I'm not saying, my friends, that if you are in a tough spot, if you are struggling financially, I'm not here beating you up. That is not my target. My target is to show you that you have a greater possibility of changing something. And again, with the example of someone getting sick, if you absolutely had to move mountains to make money, you would. So you are doing that for someone else, not doing it for yourself. If you had that same energy, if you got that broke, if you were broke enough in your business that it was dire, you would pull out everything to make it happen. Most people will. Most people won't actually jump into the huge change that's required. Most people won't actually push themselves and hold themselves accountable. They get too comfortable. They get too relaxed in their ho-hum before they will actually push themselves, challenge themselves, do what it actually takes to change it, because they're not broke enough. If you know anyone that has an addiction, anyone that's been in AA, that has gone to any AA programs, NA, AA, right? You will often hear people saying, he or she hasn't hit bottom yet. They haven't hit bottom. When you don't hit bottom, you just coast near the bottom. You just stay there. It's comfortable. Okay, so you're miserable. You've always been miserable. Okay, so you're broke. Well, no different than yesterday, right? People know, it is a known fact that until you hit rock bottom, you won't make a change strong enough to make a change permanent. So again, I ask you, are you broke enough? Or do you need to get broker? Is that a word? Do you? Are you willing? Are you willing to change this permanently? You see, here's the thing. I hear a lot of people out there going, oh, we need to be serving other people. We need to be caring about other people. We need to be, doing what helping them, and so on and so forth. I have a different point of view. And don't get me wrong, I help plenty of people in the world. I send donations all the time. I am there supporting people in their time of need. But you can support people way more in their time of need if you will make more money than you've ever made before. Because the fact is, and you've got to face this, is we live on a planet, where it's all about monetary money. Everything moves because of money. And if you don't have enough money, you're not going to be able to help that person who needs to eat. You're not going to be able to help somebody build a school. You're not going to be able to make the changes in the world that you desire to make if you don't have enough money. So it's time for you to take care of yourself. It's time for you to, do the checkup from the neck up. Find out what's going on in your thoughts. Find out the words that you're saying repeatedly. Hold yourself accountable to make this change so together we can change the world. But if you're comfortable being broke and you're comfortable doing the same thing over and over again, you're not going to contribute. You're not going to contribute to your life. And you're not going to contribute to the lives around you. There's a huge mentality out there of people just trying to get through the day. They're watching the clock. I used to be a clock watcher. Is it 5 o'clock yet? Is it 5 o'clock yet? I just want to get the hell out of here. Right? Or, oh my God, I can't wait for it to be Friday. Do you know what a difference it is in your world when you're excited about your job, when you're excited about what you're creating, when you're excited about your business, when you're excited about the changes that you're making, the advances that you're making, the income that you're creating, the people that you're contributing to as they contribute to you, and not to be watching the clock, not to be I don't care what day of the week it is. The only day that I don't work is Sunday, because I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. And when you're loving what you do, it's true what they say. When you love what you do, you're going to make more money. You are, because you show up differently. 100% you show up differently. I'm telling you, my friends, you can contribute in the world way better than you ever have before if you would make more money. There are people that are starving. There are people that need support, that need homes, that need a hand up, not a handout. They need a hand up. And one of the best ways that you can do that is by getting yourself straight, by cleaning up your world, especially with your finances. Clean up what you're doing. Clean up your thoughts. Clean up your belief system. The belief is just a thought that you've repeatedly thought. That's all it is. Challenge your belief system. Challenge the way that you behave in your day, in your business. Challenge yourself. I'm challenging you. There's no one in the world that can change your situation better than you can. But if you're not doing it, then I challenge you that you are not broke enough. You have not hit rock bottom enough yet. You have not got so uncomfortable that you're ready to just jump out of your skin. Why? Why do we have to get to this space of being so damn broke, of being so damn uncomfortable before we'll make a change? Well, I'll tell you that after our next break. Stick around, my friends. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, my friends. Oh my gosh. So if you've been sticking around, I'm going to guess that you're ready to change your financial situation and that you're tired of being this broke. Now, whatever your level of broke is in your mind, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What really matters is that you're determined to make the change. And determined to make the change and willing to have your own back. So what does that mean? Willing to have your own back is not stopping yourself, not buying into, oh, you know what, you've worked really hard this week, you should stop. You shouldn't, you know what, you're in your own business. You can make your own hours, right? Who's heard that? That just cracks me up. Sure, I can make my own hours. And if I don't do the work, the money doesn't show up, right? What about people that say, you know what, you should take it easy. You're getting older now. You shouldn't have to work so much. Why don't you get a job that's guaranteed so you can have a pension and all of that? First of all, if that's what makes you happy, go do that. But if you're in your own business and you want to change something, you can do it. But the very first thing is you've got to be committed to yourself. And you've got to have those strong conversations around what is missing. What is missing in my business? What is missing within me? What do I hear myself saying? Do you ever catch yourself? Do you ever catch yourself saying negative things about yourself? Do you ever catch yourself saying negative things about other people? Do you ever catch yourself saying negative things about the possibilities that are available in the world? Do you look outside of yourself at what other people are accomplishing and get resentful? Do you ever look at that and go, well, that's good for them, but not for me. It'll never happen to me. It's never happened to me. So just because it's never happened doesn't mean it can't happen. What you believe really does come to fruition. It really does. When I first started my business, I had no clue at what I was doing. I really didn't have any clue. I had just become a professionally trained coach and I started coaching individuals, but I didn't know where I was really going to go to make the money. I was quite lost, but I kept asking more questions and I kept looking inside of myself. I kept looking at my thoughts. I kept looking at my beliefs, and I really challenged myself. When I heard myself say negative things, I would begin to question myself. Is that really true? Is there something that I can do differently? Is there something that I can change? And there were times in my life when I was very, very sad and depressed and did not think that it was changeable. So then what I did was I reached out to people who were professionals, who were in their own businesses and that were succeeding. I put my hand up and I asked for help. I asked for help. I asked for guidance. I hired a coach who could challenge me, who could really help me to see something that I obviously could not see. You see, that's one of the biggest reasons to have a coach, because when you're in the thick of it, you can't see it, not to the detail that someone else outside of you that cares about you succeeding can see it. So when you are willing to really have your own back, no matter what it takes, you're going to do it. And I'm not talking about working 100 hours a week. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, pushing sales at people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about taking a big look at yourself, your belief systems, and then the systems within your business. That's the order that things need to go. Because your business is only a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Your confidence level has a huge impact on your business. And it has a huge impact on the thoughts that you keep repeating in your head. What would change for you if you were willing to challenge everything you said, every thought you had for 1 week? Can you imagine? It could be quite exhausting. And I wonder if you're up for the challenge. What if you started to actually track the thoughts that you were having? Now, I can guarantee you're not going to be able to track all the thoughts that you're having, because we have a lot of thoughts every single day. And you don't need to do them all. Even if you were to catch 10% of the thoughts that you say, and you started to change those thoughts and you challenge those beliefs that are coming through your head, would a 10% change in your bank account make a difference in your life? And if you were making a 10% change every single month, imagine how much of a change at the end of the year that you would make in your bank account. A 10% change. What if you pushed it? What if you'd made a 15% change? And imagine if you were making that much of a change every single day. A month from now, imagine where your thoughts would be at. Imagine, when you are open and you are in a positive state of affairs in your mind and your belief system, what happens is you start to open up to receive even more in the world. When you are in a negative state of being, you are concentrated, you're angry, you're frustrated. That's a very heavy energy. Creativity is not attracted to that. It can't come through. It's as if you can't hear it, you can't see it, you can't receive the creativity. When you're not in a creative space, you're slowing down the possibilities with your business. Now, I don't mean to say that you need to be an artist to be creative, but creativity can come in the form of how you communicate with other people. It could be in the form of how you create a service. It could be in the form of how you communicate on social media. It could be creative in how you create an email. When you are in a negative state of affairs, have you ever read an email and you went, oh my God, this person is angry? Because you can read it through the words, but it's not so much the particular words, the individuals, it's the layout of the words. Well, the way that you lay out those words it comes from you and the energy that you are being. Well, then that translates into whether someone wants to work with you or not, whether someone wants to hire you or not, whether someone wants to purchase from you or not. Are you broke enough that you are willing to start looking at every area of your life in the way that you communicate, in the way that you create and design, in the things that are lacking in your business? Are you willing to put your ego down and say, you know what, I'm missing things in my business? I know for myself and I know for clients, they've been stubborn about different things. No, I don't want to have to send newsletters. I friggin' hate newsletters and email. Email makes me crazy. I hate it. Okay. All right. But what if there are clients out there that's the way they like to receive information? Right? There are some people that are on social media. They love being on social media and they hate email. Well, there's equally the number of people that hate social media and promotions on social media and would prefer a one-on-one communication like a personalized email. This is just one example of where you want to be looking at what's lacking in your business and what you have been avoiding or refusing to look at that could actually change your business. Doing business, creating what it is, the product or service that you're an expert in, that's probably pretty simple for you to do once you get into the groove of it, right? But that's not the entirety of creating a business today. It never was. It's the way that you structure your business, the systems that you have in your business, what you are doing with your business and how you're communicating with your customers has a huge piece of this. And oftentimes this comes with your mindset, right? If you are showing up in the world and you're happy and you're joyful and you are, communicating with customers and people alike in such a joyful manner, but you turn around and you're angry at your team and your employees and you're yelling at them and you're not communicating well and you're carrying on like that, that's not going to resonate through. Your business is going to struggle. It is. And maybe you're someone who pretends like everything's fine, and then you walk away carrying this huge knot in your stomach every day sad and depressed and really having high anxiety, that again is not going to resonate to having a successful business. There is nothing wrong with you putting your hand up and saying, you know what, I'm struggling in this area of my business. I can guarantee you that I probably know 20 people that have struggled in whatever area of business you're struggling in. It's normal to struggle in business. We didn't go to school to learn how to set up a business. And even if you went to business school, you did not learn how to do this, because I went to business school and there was so many things that I didn't know until I was actually in business. But the biggest piece that you need to be looking at in business is yourself and how you operate and your mindset and the behaviors that you continue to bring out each and every day that have a huge impact on your business and on your finances. Well, we are up to our last break of the show. When we get back, we're going to continue with this conversation. Are you broke enough? I would love to hear your thoughts on what you've heard so far. If you have any questions, you can email me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. And if you're looking for support to really change this quickly, so the final quarter of 2023 can be outstanding for you, please contact me. And I actually have a strategic business package where I work one-on-one with you to create a business strategy. And we look at the blocks that are happening in your business that need your attention. So do reach out to me. It's one of my favorite things to do in business, is really help people have so much more pleasure and fun with their business. So stick around. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm Christine McIver, your host tonight on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, we are back. Tonight we're talking about, are you broke enough? If you did not hear the beginning of the show, you definitely want to go back and look at that. We've been talking about your belief systems. We've been talking about your choices. We've been talking about the changes that you can make and how important it is for you to be making money in the world if you want to support other people and assist other people that are really struggling in the world. You actually have a responsibility to make money in the world. And when I really started to realize that, it kind of shifted something for me, knowing that the world was depending on me. And maybe that will also help to shift something for you. Knowing that you have the ability to contribute to others when you make more money might be the catalyst for you to actually step up and have your own back and start to change things in your business. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid? And I know this is a silly question, but are you afraid of being successful? Are you so familiar with being broke? Are you so familiar with struggling that you honestly cannot even imagine yourself being in a comfortable place financially? Are you afraid that people will judge you? Have you surrounded yourself with people that are broke all the time? And if you were actually the one to step out and have money, that they would maybe not want to be your friends anymore, that they would perhaps tease you, that they would perhaps, alienate you. That's a real fear for some people. Are you afraid that if you have too much money, you'll become arrogant, that you will spend your money really foolishly, that if you work harder and you make more money, you won't have any more money because you've never had it, you'll just go crazy and spend it? That is a fear that people think about, right? Are you afraid that you won't succeed if you try harder, so you don't try harder, so that you don't have to be afraid that you might fail? It's crazy, but this is how the human mind does operate sometimes. Are you afraid that if you actually stepped up and you made more money, that people would like you more and contact you more and want to be around you more and reach out to you more, and it would be too much for you to be able to deal with that much demand of who you are? Interesting, isn't it? What if you have more control and more choice than you've ever imagined, but you have not even entertained the idea of what else is really possible? You being broke in your world does not serve you. You creating an unnecessary stress and anxiety in your life, in your body, it certainly is not contributing to a life that you want to have, a joyful life. We all come in to have a joyful life, and then we start making choices that sometimes deter us from that joyful life. You have the opportunity to change this. You have the opportunity to step forward in your life and to actually change what's not working. But perhaps you're just not broke enough yet. I certainly do hope that some of the things that I shared with you tonight resonate. And I certainly do hope you will think about that question. Are you broke enough? What if you could change this and it was so much easier than you ever even imagined? What if you came out on the other side more joyful, more pleasant to be around, and actually looking forward to waking up the next day to create in your business than you do today? This is possible for you. It's possible for everyone, but it takes you making a new choice. If you want a different outcome, you have to make a new choice. I do really hope that you enjoyed today's show. And next week, we're coming back again next week. The show is called Asking for More, Yet Expecting Less. It's going to kind of run on the same theme here today. So I'd love to challenge you to come back, join me in the chat room, and let's really start to change some of this for our own futures and our lives and for the world. It takes a lot of money to create positive change in the world, and there is a lot of money available to each and every one of us. But we have to start having our own back, and we have to be willing to change what's not working. My friends, you can do this. You absolutely can do this. Again, reach out to me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Let's talk about what's possible. Let's talk about what's not working, and let's change it. Let's make the next half of 2023 the best part of 2023. Let's have more joy and more pleasure than we've ever even imagined. I challenge you. I challenge each and every one of you to challenge yourselves. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you would like me to talk about on future shows, and I'll see what I can do. So, my friends, until next week, I want you to remember that you can always make another choice. Take good care of yourself and keep asking those questions.
Thank you
Bye
for
for
choosing
now.
to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.